Hi guys, thank you for joining me for Sunday school today. So today we get to talk about the story, The Road to Emmaus. And it's a pretty cool story and I'm glad you're here to join me. So we'll start off like we always do with our highs and our lows, and we'll go through our story, we'll go through our lesson, we'll go through a little craft, and then finally with our prayers and blessings. So my high is that I was able to have a very nice dinner with my family and watch a little bit of a show last night, which I was glad to do because yesterday, unfortunately, we had to put our dog down, and that was definitely my low and probably still is my low at this point. So it was nice to spend time with family in the middle of all of that. So let's go through and do our story. Today, I am reading the story out of our Spark Story Bible, and it is called The Road to Emmaus. 3 days after Jesus died, Cleopas and his friend were slowly walking down the road to Emmaus. They were walking slowly because they felt very sad. Why did Jesus have to die? They wondered. After a while, a stranger began walking along with them. The stranger was really Jesus, but Cleopas and his friend did not know that. "What are you talking about?" the stranger asked. The men looked at each other. "Are you the only person in town who doesn't know what just happened?" They told the stranger what had happened to Jesus. "Jesus was a great teacher," Cleopas said. "We hoped he was the one God promised to save the world, but instead he died on a cross. We took Jesus' body down and put it in a tomb, and then this morning when our friends went to the tomb, Jesus' body was gone. They said there was an angel there instead, and the angel told our friends that Jesus was alive, but..." "Stop being silly," the stranger said. "How many times do you need to hear this? It was God's plan for Jesus to die and become alive again to save the world." By now, they were almost to Emmaus. Cleopas invited the stranger to stay for dinner. During dinner, the stranger picked up a loaf of bread, broke it, blessed it, and gave each man a piece. All of a sudden, Cleopas and his friend recognized the stranger. It was Jesus. But then, Jesus disappeared. Cleopas and his friends jumped up, ran for the room, and went to tell the rest of Jesus' disciples that Jesus really was alive. God kept another promise. It's kind of a fun story because these two disciples probably made the same mistakes that we would have made. They were so sad and so wrapped up in their problems, they didn't see what was going on right in front of their face, that Jesus was there. They didn't see God's plan clearly, even though they had heard it in the past. Sounds like something I would do personally. But then, when Jesus broke bread and gave it to them, kind of like communion, they recognized him. They recognized him in that act because he had done it before, and it was a holy act that he did. So our craft for today, now you can print up a picture and color it yourself, or if you're good at art, you can draw it yourself. But it's to do a picture and color in a picture that is the two disciples and Jesus on the road to Emmaus. Now you don't just stop here. You see, just like they didn't understand the big picture, many times we don't either. So you can either draw squiggly lines and cut on the squiggly lines, or you can just freehand it and make different shapes and essentially make a whole bunch of puzzle pieces. Because sometimes we do not see the whole picture until it's all done. And when it's all done and you put your puzzle back together, you can see the whole picture. And you can give the puzzle to people in your family to do, or you can play with the puzzle. But just remember, when things are very puzzling to you and you don't understand, there's a big picture that God knows and that God's got control of. I'm glad you were able to join me for Sunday school. And I want to say thank you to Ministry to Children for this great puzzle idea. Loved it. Let's go ahead and do prayers and blessings. Dear God, I pray that everybody who is watching this and that everybody who was able to go to church today feels your presence in their lives, that you heal anybody who is sick, and that you comfort those who are frightened or scared or mourning. Amen. Blessings to you. Kids bless your parents. Parents bless your kids. We'll see you tomorrow.